In a moment that moved France, former President Nicolas Sarkozy kissed his wife, Carla Bruni, goodbye before heading off to begin his 5-year jail sentence. Last month, Sarkozy was convicted for his role in a conspiracy to illegally raise campaign funds from Libya. And now, the big question. Can this power couple survive a long stretch of separation with Carla waiting for Nicolas to come home? Before Sarkozy, Carla Bruni had quite the colorful love life. She famously described monogamy as boring. And over the years, she'd been linked to big names like Eric Clapton, Mick Jagger, and Charles Burling. Though, yes, she had to deny rumors about Donald Trump more than once.
This thing that Trump said that you two have dated.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
But he did that with many people at the time.
Yes.
One of Carla's most talked about relationships was with philosophy professor Raphael Enthoven. The two had a son, Aurelien, in 2001, but the romance ended less than a year later, after Raphael felt the relationship had run its course. Everything changed in November 2007, when Carla Bruni met Nicolas Sarkozy at a dinner party hosted by their mutual friend, PR legend Jacques Séguéla.
How did you meet the president? Were you just at a party?
Blind date.
No, well, it can't be blind. You knew who he was, right?
Yeah.
Sarkozy had just been left by his second wife, only weeks after becoming president, and Séguéla hoped to lift his spirits by bringing two singles together. That night, I wanted to show him that I was a poet, Carla later told The Guardian. I gave him the lyrics of a song written on a sheet, and he kept it. He still has it. Isn't that the sweetest first impression? As the party ended, Sarkozy offered her a ride home. Minutes later, Carla called Séguéla saying, "Your friend is bizarre. He didn't even come up for some coffee. And he said he would call me, but he hasn't." Séguéla laughed. They'd only been apart 5 minutes. My best matchmaking success ever. And honestly, it's hard to argue with him.
Was it love at first sight?
Yeah.
Yeah, but for both of you?
It exists.
Carla has said that Sarkozy changed everything she thought she knew about relationships. He's a bit old-fashioned, she explained, always opening doors, insisting on paying, and showing a level of gallantry that reminded her of her father. It clicked. She loved his mix of intellect, humor, and charm, and he loved being with her at every opportunity, even while running the country. They married on February 2nd, 2008, and Carla moved into the Elysee palace.
How long did you date before you got married?
We didn't date for long. 2 months.
That's not long.
Yeah, that's not long.
Though she had no official role, she accompanied Sarkozy on state visits, including one to the UK in 2008, where Carla's presence alone became news.
I became French only when I got married at 40 years old, so I speak Italian, yeah.
You became French when you got married. That's how it works?
See, now, the thing is that probably if you had another job, you know, my man, maybe I would have remained Italian. But since he was the president of France, then I thought it was polite,
to become French?
Yeah.
Describing her marriage to Sarkozy, Carla once said, "It seems that nothing bad can happen to me with him. Next to him, all my fear and anxiety disappear. I thought that love was born very quickly, but in fact it was more than immediate." She was equally clear about her commitment. "I come from an Italian culture, from Turin, and I would not accept a divorce. I will remain his wife until death." This is a perfect example of love and devotion. Of course, not everyone believed the fairy tale would last. The media dubbed Sarkozy President Bling Bling, obsessed with luxury, while Carla, the supermodel, seemed drawn to power.
What was your go-to designer when you had a special event?
Oh, I would have all these French designers,
Yeah.
Christian Dior, you know, Chanel, Jean-Paul Gaultier, Asdina Laya. It was
the best of the best.
The best of the best.
Critics predicted the marriage would end once the glamour faded, but 17 years later, despite election defeats, legal battles, and now a prison sentence, the couple remains together. Carla often calls him "my man," and in her phone he's saved as Nicolas Amour. Their daughter Julia, born in 2011, added even more joy to their already strong bond. Even leaving the Elysee didn't shake their connection. Carla embraced a quieter life, enjoying the French Riviera, spending time with her children, and staying close to her man. Their love has been tested by politics, scandal, and public scrutiny. And somehow, against all odds, it's still going strong. It seems that a French president's love life is always a hot topic. Emmanuel Macron's relationship with his future wife has long attracted attention given how they met early in his life while she was his teacher. So, how did it all begin? Let's rewind to the early 90s. Emmanuel was just 15 years old, a student at Lycée La Providence in Amiens, a small city in northern France. Brigitte, a woman 24 years his senior, married with 3 children, was his literature and drama teacher. And get this, her eldest daughter, Laurence, was actually in the same class as Emmanuel. At the time, Brigitte had been married for about 20 years to a banker named André-Louis Osier. She was living a completely normal, respectable life as a wife, mother, and teacher. But everything changed when she met Emmanuel. You know where it's going. Their bond started while working during a school play, The Art of Comedy, by Italian playwright Edoardo De Filippo. Every Friday night they stayed after school, rehearsing lines, exchanging ideas, and apparently falling in love. Or at least he was.
And this is for a very positive memory.
Every Friday I would go write a play with her for a few hours. We talked about everything. It seemed to me that we had always known each other, the French president later revealed. Brigitte later said that working with young Emmanuel was like working with Mozart. He wasn't just smart, he was intense, driven, and way beyond his years.
We work very well together.
Now, at first, people just thought it was a close teacher-student relationship, but then things got a little too close. Other students started noticing that Brigitte and Emmanuel spent a lot of time together, staying late after rehearsals, deep in conversation, clearly very focused on each other. And then came the moment that really set off alarm bells. They were spotted at a restaurant, sharing what witnesses described as a tender moment. Let's just say, small towns love their gossip. Rumors started flying, and when Emmanuel's parents found out, they couldn't believe it. At first, they actually thought he was dating Brigitte's daughter, because that would have made way more sense. But when they realized the truth, they took immediate action. His mother, Françoise, admitted that when she first found out, she was completely shocked.
I think everybody was emotional at this very moment.
In a biography about Macron, his mother said, "We couldn't believe it. When Emmanuel met Brigitte, we couldn't just say, 'That's great.' And honestly, can you blame her? Imagine your teenage son having long personal phone calls with someone much older, especially when that person is also his teacher. That's not exactly a situation most parents are prepared for. Their solution? Get him out of there. Fast. They sent him off to an elite boarding school in Paris, hoping that, with some distance, he'd move on, meet girls his own age, and forget all about his teacher. Brigitte, knowing how scandalous the situation had become, tried to distance herself as well. She believed Emmanuel would move on, meet someone his own age, and forget about her. But he didn't. Even from Paris, Emmanuel kept in touch. He called, he wrote letters, and he refused to let go. He even told Brigitte, "No matter what you do, I will marry you." I mean, come on. Most teenage boys are just trying to get through their exams, and here's Emmanuel, making lifetime commitments.
I always prefer having direct discussion.
And Brigitte? Despite everything, her husband, her kids, the social scandal, she couldn't ignore her feelings either. But she wasn't reckless. She knew her children would be affected, so she took her time. For 10 years, she stayed in contact with Emmanuel, but remained in her marriage, trying to shield her family from the inevitable fallout. But eventually, the marriage ended. By then, Brigitte's children were adults, and she finally felt free to be with Emmanuel. André-Louis Osier, her ex-husband, took it hard. He left the family home in 1994, though their divorce wasn't finalized until 2006. A year later, in 2007, France's future president and his ex-drama teacher got married. She was 54, he was 29. And in an almost symbolic twist, they tied the knot in Le Touquet, the same seaside town where she had once married her first husband.
Quel rôle vous jouez auprès de lui?
Je suis son épouse. C'est tout ça.
When asked about their age gap, Brigitte told Elle France, "There are times in your life when you need to make vital choices, and for me, that was it. If I hadn't made that choice, I would have missed out on my life."
And people just want to choose a life. That's very much important.
Brigitte, however, has always defended their relationship. She once said, "He wasn't a teenager, he had a relationship of equals with other adults." Well, technically, he was a teenager. But okay, Brigitte, we'll let you have that one. By then, Emmanuel's career was on the rise. He was making a name for himself in the world of finance and politics. And in 2017, at just 39, he became the youngest president in French history. Interestingly, that was the exact age Brigitte had been when she first met him.
The fact that Emmanuel Macron is in a relationship with his old teacher, so a lady older than him, tells a story that is more interesting than those of the other candidates.
During his victory speech, he made sure to acknowledge her, saying, "She's always there, and what's more, without whom I wouldn't be me." If nothing else, you have to admit, Macron is committed. 5 years later, Brigitte stood beside him once again when he won re-election in 2022.
The office of the French president is here, and this is where I work.
This is magnificent.
By then, the world had pretty much accepted their love story, even if it still raised eyebrows.
Emotion is always stronger than argumentation.
They never had children together, but Emmanuel has stepped into the role of stepfather to Brigitte's 3 kids. And now, at just 47, he's also a step-grandfather to her 7 grandchildren. Talk about skipping a few levels on the family tree. It's fascinating, really, that they've been together for decades now. Despite the controversy, their relationship has stood the test of time. But, let's be honest, the way it all started still raises concerns for many.
It was absolutely unique. This is a phenomenon.
So, what do you think? Is this an extraordinary love story? Or one that still raises eyebrows? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell for more celebrity stories.